Hi everybody, it's Susan Maccarelli from Beyond Your Blog. I am back from my hiatus. Beyond Your Blog is back from hiatus this week, so I thought I would do a little recap of some major news in the writing and especially submission world that sort of went on since I left the scene in about July. And I felt like I needed sort of a Dennis Miller moment, and those of you who watched Saturday Night Live in the late 80s remember him. He did the Weekly World News, so that's what I'm going to do. But I won't be as funny as him because he was really funny. Nor do I have the mullet that he was sporting. But anyway, I will include links to anything that I mentioned that's linked in this post on Beyond Your Blog. So if you scroll down under the video, you'll see it there on Beyond Your Blog. First, some of you may have been wondering, like, was Susan ever coming back? Was Beyond Your Blog ever coming back? And I was wondering the same thing for a while. I took off, I guess, a couple of months this summer, most of the summer, and I'm just coming back now in October, so it's been a while, and it gave me some time to really think about how I could continue the site without being totally burned out all the time, and I found some ways that I feel like I can do that without kind of sacrificing quality. One thing that I'm no longer doing is the podcast. I used to do a weekly podcast with an editor, which was so fun. It was probably my favorite thing to do. But in the end, I decided to scrap that format because the production is so time consuming. My husband did all my post-production. So, between his editing and all the stuff that you have to do on that end and all the front end stuff that I was doing, it just became too much. So we're still going to bring you lots of information from editors. It's just going to be in the form of a Q&A interview that you can read that way. So still there, just a different format. We filed trademark paperwork, so that's kind of exciting. And we're paying our guest writers more. We're now paying $75 per published article from contributors on Beyond Your Blog, and you can find out more about that in the Write For Us section on the site. And we'll also be offering more products and services to help bloggers get published very soon. So, okay, what happened while I was gone? Arianna Huffington has to be first on the list. So not long after I announced my hiatus, Arianna, jumped on my bandwagon and announced that she was leaving HuffPost. Really, it had nothing to do with me, but I can pretend. Anyway, she made that announcement over the summer. I think it was August, beginning of August maybe. So she's going to start Thrive Global, which is a new lifestyle, health, and wellness site. Their mission is to change the way we work and live by ending the collective delusion that burnout is a necessary price for success. It sounded pretty cool to me, even though I know some people have their feelings about her. I thought that sounded like a pretty cool site. So I'm going to be watching for it. They're launching in fall of 2016. I assume that means before Christmas at some point, but I don't know when. You can go to, I think it's just thriveglobal.com. I signed up just to get the updates because I want to know if they're going to be accepting pitches and stories from freelance writers. So we'll just wait to see more about that. Scary Mommy. Unless you're one of their staff writers, and they do have a pretty large staff of writers, they are no longer paying for originals, and most of you probably know that already. They're still taking submissions, just not paying. While it's a bummer to see that paying option go away, I know that it's one of those sites that, one of the few sites really, that when you write something for them, in many cases you get a very good response in terms of, maybe traffic back to your blog, new followers, new subscribers, that kind of thing. So it does offer that. So the silver lining I found was that, okay, well, we've now weeded out all the people who will only write for pay. So if you're still interested in writing for Scary Mommy, the competition might not be quite as stiff. Maybe I don't have all the information, but that's what I'm thinking. I thought maybe there was a silver lining there, and that's what I think it is. So go forth and submit there if you're still interested. The Mix. Okay, so The Mix no longer exists. For those of you late to the game, The Mix was kind of the talent network for the Hearst Digital publications. So all the .coms for like Cosmo.com, GoodHousekeeping.com, MarieClaire.com, Redbook.com, and a bunch of others. And so basically once you got accepted to the Mix, they would send you these prompts every day. These are things that we're looking for stories on. Sometimes they felt to people to be very sensational and sort of like just asking for some really good clickbait. Other people wrote for them time and time again, felt like it was a really good experience, that they didn't have to sell their soul by telling, airing all their dirty laundry, and we're really happy with that. So there's two sides to that. I was in the network, and I never found a prompt that I felt like really fit, so I didn't end up writing for them. But anyway, they're gone, no more mix, so we're left to pitch editors at all of their digital publications directly. And I'll be working on a piece in the coming months to hopefully pull together some contact information to help you submit to some of those publications now that it's not like a one-stop shop like it was with the mix. In the powder room, so sad. Gone. Another site. So sad. Such a funny site and a great place for humor. I always felt like if I wrote something funny, but it wasn't like mom funny, it was just like women's funny, that I wanted to put it there. So sad to see them go, but their editorial staff is fabulous, so I'm going to just be stalking them to see where I can find them next. Listen to Your Mother. Another tough announcement came from Listen to Your Mother, which is, if you don't know, like a live series of shows, like events, usually happens in spring around Mother's Day, all across the country in a bunch of different cities. I don't know the number, but a bunch of them, where moms, and I think sometimes dads too, mostly moms, read aloud some of their best work at a show, and they have an audience, and it's very cool, and you have to audition, and it's really cool, and people have great things to say about it once they've been a part of it. So anyway, they've announced that 2017 will be their last season. So if you're interested in participating, you got to do it this year. So I think usually around January, maybe February, you start hearing about the different audition times and how you can get involved. So go to Listen to Your Mother. I think it's just listentoyourmother.com, but I'll put it in the show notes, and you can figure out, how to get on their mailing list so you can be notified. A new Facebook group I want to tell you about. It's a regional parenting magazine group. So if you're interested in, or you do write for regional family and parenting magazines, like the ones you grab when you're going out of the grocery store or whatever, Carrie McLaughlin, who wrote a book called Make Money to Write About Your Kids, started a Facebook group. It's called Regional Parenting Magazine Writers, and you can ask questions about different publications, and sometimes she puts updates in there and that kind of thing. I interviewed her on my podcast, and I'll link that here in the notes. But one of the cool things about that is because the regional markets, like my Fauquier County magazines, are so localized, and another county, probably, outside of Virginia especially, they're not really competing with other markets except nearby where they are. So in a lot of cases, the writers who write for these publications can sell their reprints over and over and over. I think Carrie did it once like 30 times. It's crazy. So, you can get paid for the same piece multiple times. It's not a super high paying market, but that high volume can make up for that. So something to keep in mind. If you are a personal essay writer, or you want to be a better one, or you've never written one but you want to figure out how, friend to Beyond Your Blog, Estelle Erasmus, just announced that she's teaching a course through Writer's Digest, super awesome, on personal essays. And so it's called Writing the Personal Essay 101 Fundamentals. It starts November 10th. And I'll include the link in this post as well. So if you want to check that out, she's a former magazine editor from New York City and a widely published author. She's been in the New York Times, the Washington Post. She really knows her stuff. And I sat in on a course she did on this topic, but it was like a 1-hour course at a conference several years ago. And I mean, I was writing furiously. I had pages and pages of notes from this 1 hour that I still use. And so I can't imagine, this whole course from beginning to end, because it's over a series of weeks, how much information you'll get and how much useful information you'll get. We also did an overhaul of our opportunities directory on beyondyourblog.com, so check that out. You'll be able to go through all the paid and unpaid ones. It was getting really bad. I'm sorry, because I neglected it for a couple of months. So some links were bad, some publications were there that, started paying, don't pay anymore, have gone away, all kinds of stuff. So that's updated, as well as our anthologies directory. You can check that out at beyondyourblog.com. And that's all for now. So I expect to be, probably doing some more videos, but I'm excited to be back and look forward to sharing lots more submission and publishing tips and news and opportunities with you in the coming months.